Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. This is the Ready, Set, Go preview show. This is a show that I do every single Sunday night at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time for your entertainment. During this show, what we attempt to do is to cover some news and current events, things that might be top of mind for you, but certainly are top of mind for me. I give you a preview of all of the content that is going to be coming out from my channel over the course of this week. And then we also give away a cool slab from our friends at GoCollect. In addition to that, I'll be showing you the new slab that we're going to be giving away this coming week, simply for watching the videos that come out from the channel. All you have to do is to watch the videos, and in one of those videos that comes out sometime between Monday and Friday, there is a secret phrase. You enter that phrase into a post on the community tab, and you are automatically in the running for the slab giveaway that we do every single week and have been doing for the last 91 weeks. Huge shout out to my friends over at GoCollect for continuing to support the channel and give back to the community. At present, we are over $15,000 this year. Technically over the last 90 some odd shows, $15,000 has basically been given away from the channel back to those subscribers of the channel, which currently is over 10,000 of you guys. So shout out to everybody out there that continues to tune into the videos that get released from this channel every single week. And so we have a couple of things that we are going to get to in this agenda, in this video. Thankfully, it is not a jam-packed agenda, so we have a little bit of time to just kind of freestyle some things and maybe get into some questions and comments that you guys want to make. So that's one of the good things about not having a super jammed agenda, is that we get to have a little bit more of a fluid conversation, something that I actually enjoy. Before we get going, I want to take a moment to say hello to some comic book soldiers that have joined me here in the room for this live stream. And I am scrolling up to the top. It looks like people were in here for quite some time before the live stream got going. But I see my man Doug is in here. Tina is in here. Tina, it is definitely good to see you. Climbing Comics is in the house. My man Joe, who was on the Comics Today show earlier this week. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you again for joining me for that live stream that we did. My man Randy Snake is in the house. Randy, it is good to see you as always. Sully Two Kings is in here. My man, it's good to see you. Scrolling through the names, Quest Dog is in here. Scrolling. One of the Blue Wrenches. It's good to see you, Matt Woods. Hope all is well over there. My man Nosh, good to see you, brother. Chuck is in the house. Chuck, it's good to see you. Jerry, oh man, it is all of the usual suspects in here. My man Ed is in here. I'm going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And if this is your first time actually joining me for a live stream, I am down at the bottom of the chat. Let me know if this is your first time for a live stream. And I want to take a moment to give you a shout out. And if you are watching this thing back on replay, if you decide tonight is the night for you to actually subscribe to the channel, if you're one of those 37% of people that watch the videos but don't yet subscribe, and you decide to subscribe because of this video, let me know in the comment section so I can acknowledge you down there as well. So I'm paying attention to see Gerald's like, I'm late. It's good to see you, my friend. Again, waiting here for a hot second down at the bottom of the list to see if there's any folks that are first-time viewers. And so I want to continue to honor those people that show up for these live streams, because there is a lot of fun that actually happens up in here. Not my first time here, but I'm always lurking. I respect it, my friend. All right, so it doesn't look like we have any new folks. Is this counted as my first time? I don't know. I don't know if I can answer that, brother. But again, welcome to everybody. I want to thank everyone for giving me a little bit of their time to join me for this live stream. So one of the things that is on my list, and I cannot remember which one of you sent this to me. I think a couple of people actually did, but I can't remember who was the first. So pardon me for not giving that person a shout out. But whoever that Comic Swoldier reporter was, shout out to you for giving me a heads up that the publisher of Marvel Comics had actually been let go. The news broke just a few days ago that the publisher had been let go. And my very first thought was, who was the publisher of Marvel? Does anybody know? I want to pause for a second to see if anybody actually knows the name of the publisher from Marvel that was let go. Does anybody know this name? And I am not doing this to belittle this guy, because he actually has a fantastic reputation in the industry from everything that I have read. But I was struggling because I did not know who the publisher was. I really did not know. And I'm waiting to see if anybody No, I don't see any comments. There we go. Pretty fly got it. I honestly had not heard of this guy, Brandon. No, that's way off, brother. Give a shout out. Where'd her name go? Where is it? Amy is in here. Amy, welcome to the live stream. Greetings and salutations to you, Amy. Welcome. And I think one of the OG Blue Wrenches just gave you a shout out as well. Look at this. Man, I'm telling you, a lot of people I did not know this gentleman's name, to be honest with you. But I want to pull up this article that actually provides us with a little bit of detail on who he is and what actually happened. I am not going to spend a lot of time on this, but it says Marvel Comics reportedly fires publisher John Nee. And I will tell you that I think that this headline on screen rant is a little inflammatory. I do think that it's a little inflammatory. Back in my news editorial days at Howard University, where our vice president is now is from, where she went to school, I should say, and where I went to school, we call this yellow journalism, right? It's sensational, but technically, John Nee was not necessarily fired. I think a better term is probably let go. And I say that because John Nee, who was the publisher, was actually furloughed with a ton of employees from Marvel as a result of Voldemort. A lot of people at Marvel were furloughed. And then just recently, because of Disney's need to cut back, right, to have layoffs, those furloughed employees were actually let go. And when you say that someone was fired, that means almost, in my mind, there's a connotation associated with that, oftentimes that person did something wrong. And that does not appear to be the case. He was furloughed with a lot of other employees. And as a result of Disney needing to make some budgetary cuts, many of those furloughed employees were then let go. And we don't know whether he was given a severance package or any of that other kind of stuff, but John Nee was actually let go. It is officially fired its publisher, John Nee. According to industry reports, Nee had been with the company since 2018 and is the latest casualty of the fallout that hit the comic world following the outbreak of 2019. This article actually goes on to talk about how he's a veteran of the comic book world. He was at Wildstorm Publications for a while, which was then acquired by DC. He had a couple of different startups and things like that. The guy has been around. He's won a lot of awards. And this article on Screen Rant actually, and many others that I actually saw, did a pretty good job of kind of talking about this guy's background, which I think is really great. Nee was amongst, I had an employee that loved that word. Nee was among the many Marvel employees furloughed earlier this year due to the ongoing pandemic and its impact on the comic book industry. Now it has been confirmed that those furloughed employees have been terminated. And it says beyond Marvel, both Lucasfilms and Pixar, all Disney properties were forced to furlough workers in April. And at the time of the writing, this article was released about 2 days ago. No replacement for Nee has been named at the publisher. So we don't know who's going to be publisher, if there's going to be a publisher. The fact is that Marvel has been continuing all of this time since April without actually having a publisher at the helm. And I thought this was interesting because people may be curious, like, what does a publisher actually do, right? He oversaw quality control, marketing, and budget management of Marvel Comics print and digital offerings. And so he was actually brought in, as you guys saw earlier in 2018, to actually take over for the previous publisher who actually moved up into the organization, and that was Buckley. Buckley, actually, I do believe, is the one that actually moved up. So we may spend a little bit of time, possibly on the Comics Today show, talking about these layoffs and furloughs and things like that are actually happening at Disney, the same way that we did for DC Comics and AT&T. We may cover that as part of the Comics Today show later this week on Wednesday. I need to see whether I can pull together enough information to have a robust conversation around that specific topic. So more to come on that. Let me go back to the chat real quick here. What does it say? I did. I don't know if you're making a joke or if that's an actual comment. If you did get laid off, brother, I am definitely sorry about that. But if you're making a joke, I am laughing with you on that one. Scrolling down, comic book 1967 says, terrible news. That is terrible. Chris, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. I got to throw in a robust every now and then because we want people to enjoy their time spent here on the channel. So occasionally we like to throw in a robust so that people can continue the fun times. Oh, you really did? Okay, definitely. In that case, brother, I am definitely there for you. I have actually been laid off a couple of times myself, and that's part of the reason why I object to that term of fired, because technically, if you've been laid off, you have not been fired. You've been let go, right? Because those two things, when you say that to your next job, those two things mean something completely different, right? But sorry to hear that. I think that there are many people out there that are continuing to be impacted by COVID and by the pandemic. And so a lot of people out of work there. It's definitely still tough out there. Now that we are on the other side of the election, for better or worse, fingers crossed that maybe things will start to get back on track here. That is definitely the hope. There he goes. He says, all good people, I will be okay. You'll be okay because of that statement, because of that positive attitude. You'll be okay because of that. That is what's up. Scrolling down through scrolling down through some of the comments, brother, man, you're looking at least Q2 to Q3 of 2021 before that happens, because you actually need multiple vaccines across multiple age indications for this thing, and then widespread use and distribution of it for it to have a true impact. But fingers crossed that when they start to have the results are positive and people are protected and they have no issues getting the thing approved and then manufactured and distributed, and hopefully we have uptake among the people. That is one of the things that I am a little concerned about, to be honest with you. Like, I went and got my flu shot, right? And I've seen people make comments about flu vaccines and about how they won't get one. And I'm like, science is great. So let me see. Keep dying. Come on, brother. Come on, pretty fly. You can't, bro. Come on, man. No. You know, grandma didn't say put some tussin on it. You know that. Grandma went to the kitchen and she cut an onion in half. And she put the onion on the plate and she sprinkled it with some sugar and she covered it up with a glass and she made cough syrup from an onion. That's how grandma did it. At least my grandmother, great grandmother, and mother. That's how they did it back in the day. They said, put some onion on it. They didn't say put some tussin on there. And then there you go. He says 7-Up. Ours was ginger ale, brother. It was onion syrup. It was onion syrup. And some ginger ale. I'm sorry, and Verner's. It was Verner's specifically. And if you were feeling really bad, if you were really sick, you got a hot toddy. You got a hot toddy, and then you went to sleep. All right. So the first thing that we want, I don't know how I got down that track, but hopefully you guys went right there with me and enjoyed that journey down to the onion and the sugar and all that kind of stuff. I need to remind my mother that she did that to me. The first thing, again, that we wanted to cover off was that the publisher of Marvel has been furloughed and let go, along with a host of other employees. We may get to that a little bit later in this week, possibly during the Comics Today show. But the next thing that I wanted to talk about, and something happened with a video that I recorded. I want to say it was early this week. Something kind of happened with the video. I'm not quite sure, but we are going to cover that topic in just a moment after I acknowledge this super chat and this news that has just been broke. Drink ginger, honey, lime tea, best medicine. There you go. I actually take real medicine now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't done the onion thing since I was probably like 5. But I want to take a moment to acknowledge this. DB just left this super chat here. My heart continues to go out and to be with those individuals that continue to have complications, and I mean complications with life, right? COVID it continues to be a problem, and then on top of that, we have all of these other aspects of life, and some people, have more than their share of sorrow, and you have to continue to take moments to acknowledge these things that are happening to people. And so that is essentially what we're looking at here on screen. DB, as I mentioned to you earlier, brother, my thoughts are with you, my friend. My thoughts are definitely with you. Thank you very much for the super chat. And certainly, as we talked about before, if there's something that you need, don't hesitate to reach out to me or to anyone that is here in this room right now. So I know that a lot of people continue to think about all of those that are around us that have these ongoing troubles, man. So my thoughts are definitely with you, brother. All right. So we're gonna make that hard turn because those things, these things that happen to us have to be acknowledged, but then we also have to continue down the path. And so DB definitely gets where I'm coming from with that. As I was mentioning, something happened with one of the videos that I did a live stream of earlier this week. I think it was earlier this week. The days kind of blurred as they may for you all as well. But I made an announcement and then I shared some books and somehow the video went away. The video went away, but I actually want to provide a quick update on some things that I spoke about in that video. Also, it may even be a little more timely right now because it is actually available for you guys to access. So a couple of weeks ago, people may remember that I was hopeful that something really awesome was going to happen. And then I told people that it wasn't going to happen, but I told them, no, never fret, because pretty much that same day, or at least within the proximity of that bad news coming for me, there were some other things, several other positive things that happened around that same time. And now I am finally able to talk about one of those things. One of those things is that my relationship with GoCollect continues to grow and to morph into different types of projects, something that I am very excited about because they are awesome partners, as I teed up at the beginning of the show. So I am now doing a new show. I'm doing a new show and I'm actually looking for it. I'm doing a new show for the folks over at GoCollect. Specifically, I am going to be doing a podcast for them called Behind the Blog. And I actually cannot take credit for this. I think that the name of this thing is incredibly smart. I wish that I could say that I came up with it, but I didn't. But this thing is essentially going to be a podcast. And as the name kind of implies, I'm going to be going behind the blog. I'm going to be going behind the blog by talking with some bloggers that put out some of this great content on GoCollect every single day. And what I'll be doing is sitting down, essentially talking with them about their recent blog post in a lot more detail than what was actually captured in the blog itself, right? So I'll be trying to understand like what their motivations were, what their inspiration was, what it was that prompted them to write this blog post, right? And we'll dig into some of the details of the data and the numbers and the ideas and the concepts that are contained in that blog post. And so the very first episode of this podcast was released today. It's actually going to be released every Sunday night. in time for your week. And so if you are still commuting on Mondays or whatever, you actually have an opportunity to download it on Sunday so they can be ready to go on Monday for your drive. And if you don't commute, then you have a week's time in order to actually pull the podcast up and go behind the blog with me and one of these other bloggers. And so the very first blogger that we sat down and talked with was my man Ariel. And I think you guys know Ariel pretty well. He is always in the chats. Let me see if I can back out and actually show you guys the blog, the actual posting for this thing. So this is it right here. Make sure you guys can see that. Yep, you can. So this is what we're doing. But the first episode of Behind the Blog with GoCollect is on Invincible. And you guys, if you follow the blogs, if you follow the weekly recaps that I do for GoCollect, Ariel wrote a really solid blog post in which he actually talks about the upcoming show Invincible that's going to be on Amazon Prime. And so we spend about 20 minutes or so chit-chatting about this blog post. And this thing, if you guys are interested in checking it out, I do believe it is available. Let me go back here on Spotify. Let me make sure podcasts will be available on Apple, iTunes, and also Spotify, and will be published every single week. So there you go. Shout out to my friends over at GoCollect for continuing to be really, really good partners. And on a day when I received bad news to receive some good news, I am very thankful for the continued partnership. So let me go back to the chat real quick. Let me scroll. Yeah, somebody said that it, let me see. Gerald says, sounds good content to be listening to while working out. There you go. And I will tell you, I do believe that the weekly recap video that I do for them as well, which is technically a video, is also available on the podcast as well. So you can listen to the weekly recaps as well as the behind the blog. All of that content is actually available. And then I saw a comment here. What is this? Almighty Liger King. Congrats again, Reggie. You're becoming the face of the comic book community. Brother, somebody, I think it was Omega Comics. So I am a Kappa, a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and Omega Comics is an Omega. And he said to me, and he likes to remind me of this, he said to me well over a year ago, he was like, you're going to be the mild-mannered reporter of the comic book community. And I didn't know how to take that at first because I'm like, I'm not all that mild-mannered. But basically what he was saying was that he could foresee good things happening for me as it relates to comics, in the world of comics. And so, it's one of those cool things when people sometimes see things in you that you don't necessarily see in yourself. And, at the time when it said, you're like, oh, okay, cool. And then later on, you're like, they may have saw something, So, again, I think what's really cool is that I'm constantly trying to get better and to try to put out good content. And it's nice when that gets acknowledged. And so I'm definitely appreciated that. There are some extremely talented bro. These are facts. And if you watch the recap video that gets released on Wednesday from GoCollect's channel, a lot of people will say, they will compliment me on like what's in the video, but I'm always trying to remind people that I'm representing the bloggers. These are not necessarily my original thoughts. This is me reporting on some wonderful work that other people have done. And there are some really talented bloggers that work for GoCollect that put out some really well-written stuff that is thought-provoking, that is well-researched, and I just cover it, And so I think, Matt Woods, you are definitely spot on with that, brother. I mean, even the editor makes me look good. I just show up and talk, and the bloggers have all these great words, and then they have really good editors that do the video editing with the music and all that kind of stuff. Sooner or later, I'm gonna hire my own editor that will make me look even better here on my own channel. So fingers crossed that I can actually make some of that happen. So Reggie, when TMZ starts following you and asking, oh my goodness, brother, please, I don't need that kind of scrutiny in my life. Let me tell you, I don't need people showing up outside my door asking me questions. Let me see, secret identity, my brother. That's not much of a secret identity, young Matthew, by having an extra G, brother. I throw on, what is it? I have two G's and then I just throw on a pair of glasses and like I mess my secret identity. Well done, brother. Scrolling down through some of the comments here, see what else you guys are talking about. All right, good stuff. All right, so let me keep this thing moving forward. One other thing that I wanted to talk about that I think is a little newsworthy. I actually posted this up on the Instagram machine. I posted it up on Instagram, and so people had some thoughts about this. I put up a post featuring some really great Star Wars comics and I had some commentary, and a lot of people started to comment, not necessarily in a bad way. But my comment was that I felt like the current season of The Mandalorian is a little slow. I didn't say that it wasn't good. I think I might have said something like a little slow. I hope it gets better. But that wasn't to say that it's bad. It was simply to say that in comparison to season one, I'm not as captivated. Season one to me was really, really good. It was unexpected and it was spectacular. Season two, my expectations are high because of season one, and season two, as someone said, is almost like they said it's almost like side missions. Like if you play video games, so that the main mission, these are like side missions where you can score some points and pick up some cool stuff. I get that analogy. But what I thought about season two so far, and there could be spoilers ahead, so I will try to do my best not to jam it up for anybody if you haven't yet seen it. But you may want to mute. It won't be too detailed. It won't be too long, but you may want to mute. So there were some things that happened in the first two episodes, really more the episode 2 of season 2, that I thought were really spectacular. And then I found a news report that kind of confirmed some of my thinking. I don't know if you guys remember this TV show called Deadwood. Does anybody remember Deadwood? I'm actually looking at the chat. Sully Two Kings like, mute. Does anybody remember the show? Season 1, Quest Dog's like, season 1 was fire. Episode 1 was fire. Episode 2 was kind of unnecessary. But I will tell you, there was some good stuff that happened in episode 2. There was some good stuff. Does anybody remember? There we go. Ultimista remembers Deadwood. Force mute, says Chris Bigger. Deadwood is one of my favorite shows on HBO. I will tell you that. This show right here, Swearingen, this show, I watched the entire series twice because I loved Deadwood. I love period pieces, and this show on HBO was expertly done. The same way that like Oz and The Wire. Oh my goodness. All three of those shows, incredible. Deadwood was fantastic. And the guy right there in the middle, Bullinger. Oh, I love this guy. I love him because this guy is incredibly talented as an actor. His name's Tim. He was the sheriff. This dude is incredible. He is incredible. I really enjoy episode 2, season 2, because of this guy right here actually showing up in The Mandalorian. And it took me a second to recognize him. But once I did, I was like, I'm on board. So this article that I found on Newsarama actually highlights why this Mandalorian, if you will, air quote, Mandalorian played by Timothy should actually be a spin-off show. And in this episode, he actually stars as a fake Mandalorian, a sheriff of a town on like the outskirts, and he's fighting like all of these, these gangs and other species and stuff like that to like protect this town of people. I think they're like miners or something like that. I'm not going to go through this full article, but what I will tell you is that I enjoyed him in Deadwood, and I enjoyed him as a fake Mandalorian and as a marshal in episode 2. If Disney decided to do a spinoff of this guy, I would welcome it and I would watch it in a heartbeat. He is a charismatic actor. The fact that you actually get to see his face and you get to hear him, and he goes back and forth between being a tough guy and just having a great sense of humor, if you will. I enjoyed that aspect. The Mandalorian character, which I think is great, the fact that you don't see his face makes it a little bit of a tough thing to kind of connect with him. And for him, it's really to some degree more about Baby Yoda than it is about him as a Mandalorian. But again, the show, fantastic. If they decided to do a spinoff with the Marshal and with Tim from Deadwood, I'd be on board with that. I really would. And I am hopeful that the show actually does continue to get better. It may be one of those slow burns. It may be a slow burn and it's going to get on fire again. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Boba Fett armor. I've only seen like 2 episodes of The Wire. Brother, you got to catch up. You got to catch up. The Wire is fantastic. And what's crazy is that I actually owned multiple rentals in Baltimore on the other side of the bad side. Well, neither side is really good, but you get my point. I was on the better side where I have my rentals. Plays law enforcement characters a lot, and he does a fantastic job of it, bro. But the thing about it is that are they true law enforcement, or are they kind of like these morally fluid law enforcement? Because on Deadwood, he wasn't exactly a good guy, and kind of sort of his role on Mandalorian, he's not exactly a good guy. Maybe a little bit more than Deadwood, but fantastic actor. I really do think that he's a fantastic actor. So I'm scrolling down through some of the comments here. Wasn't a big fan of episode 1. To be honest, thought it was very generic. Heard second was better. I think parts of the second were better. I will tell you that. Parts of the second were better. And, you know, I wonder if it's one of those things where you have to be a true like Star Wars fan in order to really appreciate some of the nuances that were shown maybe in episode 1 and episode 2, whereas I'm not a true Star Wars fan. So I'm looking at it purely from the standpoint of the enjoyment of the episode, not necessarily the backstory and what I know about these characters and these planets and all that kind of stuff. I wonder if that's like the disconnect for some people. It is those of us that just watch it for the show, and those of it that watch it with all of this history and knowledge about Star Wars. That could be the disconnect. My hope is that season 2 will be like season 1, where regardless of the side that you were on, we all still were like, this is a dope show. That is my hope. That's really my hope. Scrolling down through some of the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. I did just start watching Snowden on Netflix a short while ago, like 30 minutes before this show began. I started watching Snowden, so I'm actually looking forward to that. Scrolling through some of the comments here. It's okay. You can come back. You can come back. I think we're done. Scrolling down to some of the comments here. Have I seen him lately on the latest Fargo series? I have not. I have not ever seen Fargo, Henry. But if I know he's there, then that might be something that I want to check out. Jon Favreau is writing all of the new episodes, says Jerry. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. Seeing what else. Season 2 seems to be a relationship builder between Mando and the child. Again, the child is amazing, man. I'll tell you, Baby Yoda is incredible. There is probably nothing cuter than a small something, like a puppy or a baby or an alien. They're all cute, so Baby Yoda's dope. Scrolling through, seeing scroller. You're good. It's been, you can come back. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. All right, cool. So I don't want to belabor the point because I want people to be able to come back. There we go. We get some baby gibbons up in here, man. Sign me up. That might be dope. A little stuffed baby gibbon from Reggie collects. Ooh, Chris Bigger. Big eye, small mouth. Again, it's a Baby Yoda. He was the only good thing about brother, you could be right. I'll tell you, because Baby Yoda, man, here's the thing. If you watch Baby Yoda and you're still mad about anything, you're a bad person. I'm going to just be honest. Baby Yoda makes everybody happy. So if you're having a bad day, watch Baby Yoda. or look at a photo of Baby Yoda, do something with Baby Yoda. Get the little stuffed quilted Baby Yoda dolls that I've seen out there. Definitely some stuff, good stuff. Umbrella Academy, I could not watch past episode 1. I think I was 15 minutes into episode 1. It was like, oh, I gotta find something else to do. I have not seen beyond that at all. So yeah, that's all I can say about that show. Scrolling down through some of the Chris Bigger taking credit already. He's like, boom, you're welcome. I will give you no credit right later on. So there you go. DB is like, I want a baby Gibbon. All right. So yeah, you know what? I was going to say it, but I didn't want to ruin it for other people that may have come off of mute. You may have noticed I paused there for a second because I was about to make that point. Matt Woods, you and I, brother. All right. So we've talked about the publisher of Marvel being furloughed and then laid off as a result of COVID-19. We talked a little bit about the new show that I am hosting for the folks at GoCollect. And by new show, I specifically mean a podcast that is going to be coming out on Sundays for you guys to listen to over the course of the week. The podcast is called Behind the Blog. We've spoken about the Mandalorian and the possibility, fingers crossed, that there might be a spinoff out of the Mandalorian, something again that I would welcome tremendously because I enjoy that guy Tim from Deadwood. All right, the last thing on my list that I wanted to give you guys an update on was GarageCon is indeed going to go down. I think I released one video on that. GarageCon is actually going to happen November 21st. I think I'm probably going to start about 8 o'clock. I think I'm going to start about 8 o'clock and we may go until about 1. 8 o'clock to maybe 1. I'll be up at 6, probably getting myself set up and all that kind of stuff like I normally am. And, but 8 o'clock, I will probably open the garage doors open and, we'll get things going. What I will tell you is that I have not yet begun to put things together for GarageCon, but what we'll probably do is to have like some $1 books and maybe $2 books. I'll have some higher end books for sale, raw books and slabs. I don't know exactly what the mixture of that stuff will be just yet. I will try to have some good stuff, like some Amazing Spider-Man stuff and maybe some other titles. The big challenge, of course, is that I have to grade and price things in advance, which is a lot. And so that's why that's my limitation over how much stuff I'm going to have is the fact that I have to grade and price it myself, which is a little time consuming for me to do that in addition to like everything else in life. But that is what I will endeavor to do, is to have some decent books, some cheap books and some decent books for sale for people. And then the other big thing is that I don't want to be doing it at the time, trying to grade and price and all that kind of stuff at the same time as I'm trying to have conversations with people. So yeah, I need to do some work to get myself set up. But November 21st, starting about 8 o'clock and running until about 1 o'clock, GarageCon is going down. So what I will ask you to do is that if you are indeed planning to attend GarageCon the week of the 21st, send me an email and I will provide you with an email or a message on Instagram, and I will provide you with the exact mailing address to the house so that you guys can show up for that thing. But the week of the 21st, if you send me a message, I will hook you up. Anytime before that, I'll just say, hey, the week of the 21st, I'll give you the address. So if you wait until the week of the 21st, then I'll definitely hook you guys up. So Reggie Collects on Instagram, and then Reggie at reggiecollects.com on email. 1G for everything. Let me go back to the chat here real quick to see. Will I do a live stream? No, I won't. I won't. And I say that because I'm only one person, Wes, and I think several people have like asked if I would do it. It's too much. It's too much. I'm literally like one person, and to do it the right way, I would probably have to run an Ethernet line outside, which is, well, to where I'll be outside, which is not going to necessarily be an easy thing for me to do. Plus I just got other stuff to do, versus trying to like, it's one thing. It's like, you know, if you're having a party, you typically, as the party thrower, don't eat, and you don't eat because you're so busy trying to make sure that everyone else is having a good time. You know what I'm saying? And so you're moving around, and you're trying to engage, and you're trying to keep things going. You don't necessarily have time to go sneak off into the corner to do some stuff over there. So it probably will not be live streamed unless I can make some kind of magic happen. I will try to maybe take some photos and stuff like that. I even tried to film the last one. And to be honest with you, people like Jerry just like kept me talking the entire, like I literally talked to everybody that came, like long conversations. And I want to be in the moment with those people that are actually able to make it. And I know that does a little bit of a disservice to those individuals that aren't able to make it. But I think people understand where I'm coming from. I want to be as respectful to those people that show up as possible. So, but if I can make some magic happen, you never know. You never know. You never know what can happen. All right. Garage Con, what's the nearest airport? San Francisco or Oakland or San Jose are all equidistant to some degree or another for me. So San Francisco, Oakland Airport, and San Jose are the three airports in the in the vicinity. Scrolling through the comments here. You got people up in here. They better not be bidding. There's no shares of that book. There's no shares of that. I will tell you that I was sitting on the sofa next to the wife yesterday, and a book popped up on an app that I use. It was another copy of Amazing Spider-Man, exact same grade. Amazing Spider-Man issue #1 popped up, and I said, "Babe, they have one, a blue label." And I said, "Can I borrow some money?" She looked at me and she said, "No." She said, "No, you have to spend your own money, Reggie." That's basically what she told me, brother. And you have good stories too, sir. You have good stories, my friend. Don't let anybody tell you any different than that, brother. I definitely appreciate it, man. Would you sell the leftovers from GarageCon on your site afterwards? So, yeah, I mean, here's what's probably going to happen is that a lot of the books that I actually have on the website right now that are not sold will actually be the same books that will be at GarageCon, and maybe I'll take a couple of bucks off or something like that. I really haven't decided, but those books have all been graded. The challenge, of course, is, you know, if someone is on site, depending upon the book, they can look at the book themselves and evaluate the price that I have and the condition of the book because they're on site and can decide whether they want to buy it. For me to put the book on the website means that I literally have to take time to grade, photo, and then post the book. And that's a rate limiting factor, right? Because that's a lot of time, right? And again, I have other things to do. So what I would say is the likelihood that everything that is made available offline going online is probably like pretty slim, right? And that's just because, for example, I have 5 long boxes of Amazing Spider-Man comics. There's no way that all those books are ever going to make their way to the website. That's just way too many books. It's much easier for me to be like, you know, $5 a book. Here's the bin. You go through it. You pick it out. $5, right? Super simple. There's only one of me. There's only one of me, and that's one of my ongoing challenges is that I have not yet found a way through the magic of comic books to multiply myself. What is this? Since Reggie isn't selling shares of his AF-15, I also show. Completely legit. That is completely legit. There you go. You need the plush now. You need the plush. All right. So, what is this? A kitchen? No. So, all right. So let me go ahead and get to the next thing that we're going to talk about. And then, we'll maybe do the giveaway, and then we'll maybe chat about some other stuff that you guys want to talk about. What is Kelly with 2 L's putting the brakes on the A? Here's the thing, bro. She actually didn't say you can't get it. She simply said she wasn't going to give me the money. Those were the only stipulations. She was like, "You have enough money in your PayPal account." That was her comment to me, as if she knows how much money is in my PayPal account. She might know. I wonder if she knows. All right, so let's keep this thing moving, because I do want to give away this book right here in a timely fashion. Wonder Woman 184 is the book we're going to be giving away in a couple of minutes, and then To Jerry's point, because Jerry likes to say this to me, show the book. I'll be showing you next week's book here very soon as well. So let me give you a rundown of some of the videos that are going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. And I will tell you, some of these videos I filmed like a month ago. Had a little bit of a backlog of videos, and I'm slowly but surely like trying to clear out some of these videos, these basic like hauls and unboxings that I'm trying to clear out. I literally spent a healthy portion of today coming up with some things that I want to record videos on, possibly for like the new year and stuff like that. So I'm starting to plan ahead some of these things that I want to do, and there's some good stuff over there, some good stuff. But I have to clear out some of this backlog stuff here, so so bear with me as I continue to do so. So there will be a haul video. Basic haul video that'll be coming out this week. There's also going to be an unboxing video, and the unboxing video, I cannot wait until this video gets released so I can put the book on my wall so I can show you guys this book, because I'm pretty excited about this book. But I need to get the video out so I can actually enjoy the book, because it's actually hitting. Well, hitting from you, not hitting for me, but you know what I mean. So a haul video, an unboxing video. We are going to do another one of those Blue Ocean spec videos. I think the last Blue Ocean spec video I think I did was pretty well received. And so I want to do another one of those. And it's basically where I talk about a couple of books that potentially could be Blue Ocean books. I provide you with my rationale for why I think that they're Blue Ocean or decent books to check out. And then I also talk a little bit about some of the market data, some of the sales data and the grades that I think are good, if you will, air quote good. With that video, I always encourage people to do their own research before they make any kind of purchases. But those are some of the videos that are going to be coming out. And then there's also going to be the Comics Today show, which is going to be on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. That is a live stream that actually happens in the evening. Comics Today, the last two shows I think have been pretty good. You know, the feedback has been somewhat positive. So fingers crossed that people continue to enjoy Comics Today, because that'll be happening again Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Hopefully you guys will be able to join me for that live stream. A couple of other things that are going to be coming up from the channel over the course of this week. There's a podcast that will be released on Patreon tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. As a reminder, if you want to just get the podcast, you can actually sign up for Patreon for like $1.99. It's like a super low price. You can actually get access to the podcast for that. And then if you happen to want any of the other tiers, you get access to the podcast and a bunch of behind the scenes information. And you also get some special recognition on Discord. If you happen to join Patreon and link your Discord, when you come to Discord, you get some cool stuff over there. And you also get access to a community, a chat community at a certain tier on Patreon, where you get to socialize with other Patreon members. There's also going to be a blog post that will be released Wednesday at 10 a.m. So 3 videos this week at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, 1 live stream on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, a podcast, and a blog post. That is all of the content that is going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. Let me bounce back to the chat real quick. I am figuring that Discord thingy out. That is a technical term. Thingy. Thingy is a technical... We might get back to the hunt videos at some point. We might get back to that. The challenge is I don't really have much to hunt for now, you know? What is this? You really give me a better perspective on how to approach this hobby. I hope you're talking about me. The Blue Ocean spec video was fantastic. Thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. I missed the road hunting videos. Man, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I enjoyed those hunting videos as well. I really did. The challenge is that a lot of times what I was hunting for were Amazing Spider-Man books. And once I, was able to get all of the ASM, thankfully that I was able to do that pretty much before Voldemort, if you will. But then Voldemort hit. So it's like I don't really have as much motivation to go out and hit all of these crazy comic shops like I used to. I don't know. I need to think about that, because I would like to bring that hunting series back, because it was fun, right? It gave us an opportunity to see different kinds of comic shops all across the Bay Area. you all were also treated to some really awesome books, man. A lot of times I would go to these shops and they would literally be like, hey, film what you want. We can show you whatever you want. And it was great. And I got some good footage and I think you guys enjoyed it. So we may try to bring that back. then they turn red ocean. But I hope that one comment about the perspective, I hope that was indeed directed at me. Liker, I missed those hunting vids too, says my man, Heavy Hammer's in the house. No, not 3 a.m. Sometimes YouTube just crushes my soul, crushes my newest Patreon member right here, Heavy Hammer, Jim, and Comics. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you for joining Patreon, and hopefully you have no issues linking Discord. If you search for link Discord to Patreon, you will be able to pull up an article probably from the help desk, if you will, of Patreon. It's like 3 steps. If I had them committed to memory, I give them to you right now, but it is relatively straightforward. So let me scroll back down to the bottom here. I was talking about your blue ocean. Oh, okay, there we go. Again, I just try to give you guys some perspective. Yeah, man. So I don't know if I'm committed to doing a full run of X-Men. I don't know if I'm committed to that yet. You know, the thing about it is that finding ASM was easy because, you know, I was doing the full run of 800 of them or whatever it was at the time, right, that I was trying to pull down. With X-Men, it might be more of a limited thing that I do, and there's only so many shops that I would actually have to go to for that. So you might get like 5 videos or something like that. So we will see how it all plays out, you know. There we go. There you go. Derek says Discord is awesome. Need to get on it more. You and me both, brother. I go in there and then it's like there's like 50 comments, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna just leave because they're having a good time without me. Like I try to check in at least once or twice a day, and you know, there are certain channels within Discord where you guys are just having a really robust conversation. I'm like, well, hey, everybody's fine. Everybody's happy. You guys are communicating. I'm going to just keep it moving. So if you haven't yet just joined Discord, I definitely want to encourage you to check it out. There is a link on the community tab. And what I may do, if I remember, after this giveaway, I will try to post up a link to Discord for you guys. But with that said, what is this? Did I fill out your Defenders run? No, I was never on Defenders. It was Invaders. Invaders was what I was looking for. And I don't think that I have found a single copy of Invaders in the collection. Not found a single copy. I do have many of them bookmarked on eBay at the moment and have for about 6 months. So at some point, I will actually pull the trigger on those Invaders books. I picked up another copy of Invaders 1 a couple of months ago. I can't remember where I got that one from, but I think I have like 2 copies of that now. But at some point, I will work on Invaders again. There's a couple of little secret projects that I have that I'm having in the back of my mind as a result of the Pedigree collection that I want to execute, but it's one of those things of finding the right time to pull the trigger on some of those activities. But there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff on my mind. There we go. Jorge, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. So there's a couple of people asking me some questions about some things. There are some things I have seen those comments. I'm not ready to talk about those things. But what I will say to you is that those things are on my board and might be in a show later this week. So stay tuned for that, because you can't put everything in one show, right? So just rest assured that I do see the comments. I'm just not going to touch them in this show right now. How many books do you own in your collection? Probably 100 and 100,000 plus. Let's put it that way. 100,000 and plus. I have about 7,000 or so here at the house, and then another 100,000 in storage. So a very, very large collection. If you search for Reggie Collects 100K collection here on the YouTube machine, you will be able to find all of those. What? You be patient. All right, so let me go ahead and do this giveaway real quick. So I'm gonna share my screen real quick, and we're going to roll these dice. throw these bones and let's see what number we come up with. Let me make sure you guys can see that. You can. We rolled 6. We rolled 6. So now we are going to go ahead. I'm going to share my screen one more time. I'm going to show you the list of names of individuals that were able to successfully enter this week's giveaway and that are now in the running for a pretty awesome Adam Hughes cover. What is that? Wonder Woman 184. So these are all of the names. I will remind people that there is one entry per household, and there's one entry per person. If you actually enter more than one time, I will delete both or all of your entries. If your phrase is not 100% correct, you are not in the running. And so we actually had several people this week that entered multiple times and I deleted all of their entries. So just as a reminder, there is one entry per person, one entry per household. Even if multiple people watch the channel, one of you has to decide who is actually going to enter. And that's how we're going to do it because we want to spread the love. So we're going to randomize this thing a total of 6 times. Let me see how many people this week. 246. So we just randomized it one time. I'm going to roll it again. That is 2. Here is 3. Scrolling down. This is 4. Here is 5. And the winner of this week's GoCollect giveaway is Steven. Steven V. You, sir, are the winner. Next up, we have rated R, Eric, Transman, Jonathan, and I don't recognize any of those other names there, but all here you can see the top 10 right there. See the top 10. Those are all of the top 10. Stephen V. You, sir, are the winner of this week's GoCollect giveaway. I see Joa down there in the 12th place. I see you, brother. DD is down there. I see you. All right, so let me go back and make sure you guys can actually see me there. You can indeed. So this is the book that is going to be bundled up and sent out to Steven as soon as he sends me an email to Reggie at reggiecollects.com. And in that email, I need you to provide me with your screen name, your real name, which might be one and the same, your mailing address, and I will get this and the exclusive GoCollect Soulfire bundled up for you and sent out to you as soon as possible. If you are watching this and you do not know how to enter the giveaway that I do every single week, if you search right here on YouTube for Reggie Collects GoCollect giveaway, there is a video that tells you all of the details. At 8:30 tonight, in 3 minutes, there is a post that is going to go up on the community tab. In that post, there are 2 links. One of those links is to MailChimp. That's where you actually go to enter the giveaway every single week. And the second link is to the video that I just mentioned with all of the directions on how to actually enter the giveaway. I actually updated that earlier today. Hit me and I'm like, well, why don't I just put the link up there so that people can watch the video so they don't have to search for it. So that was a new enhancement that I actually just made early this morning. So in 3 minutes, the post is actually going to be live on the community tab and accessible to you. If you are using an iPad, you will not be able to see the community tab. So you need to use a desktop or a mobile phone or another computer that is not an iPad, and you'll be able to see the community tab. I do not know why the community tab does not work on iPad, but those are the rumors on the streets. So this next giveaway, I think, is a pretty good book, and it is this one right here. It is Uncanny X-Men number 266. This is a 9.2 with white pages. And I can tell you for a fact, that this book has not been pressed. There are pressable defects on the spine of this book. This corner down here is a little wrinkled. And so you may be able to get a little bit of a bump. There may be 1 or 2 more, 3 more impressions in the spine of this book and several on the back side, all of which impact the grade. So this book potentially is a higher grade book than what we see right here at a 9.2 with white pages. So for just watching the videos that come out from the channel over the course of this week, that book could potentially be yours. So let me scroll down. My losing streak will end. That's what's up, NC Slapjacks. I respect it, brother. Oh, so maybe it does work now. Maybe it works now. Comics and Coffee says, I enter the giveaway on the iPad all the time. So there you go. It may have been resolved. Thank you very much for telling me that, because I honestly don't know, because I don't use my iPad to go to my own thing. But thank you for making me aware of that. Maybe it now works, because there was a period where that did not work. And that was actually a pretty known defect that was up there. So scrolling through the comments here, fantastic book. Let me see. Quest Dog says, hey, look at that. My book. Everyone is banned from entering this week. But hey, brother, why don't I just send it to you right now? Let me just send it to you right now. All of these other people clearly are not going to win. Yo, book, bruh. Let me scroll through the comments. I was just talking about LCS the other day about that book. That's what's up. It's a good book, man. I really wanted a 9.8 of that myself. I ended up trading. I think I showed you guys. I think I ended up getting a 9.6 that I traded somebody for. I'm pleased with that, but I still remain hopeful that at some point I will actually be able to score a 9.8 of that one. So scrolling through some of the comments here, Sully Two Kings, Fuego. We're on fire. There we go. Be Right Back Productions. Again, the great thing about this is that I actually get cash from GoCollect, and then I basically go shopping. So once a month, I go shopping and buy up some books, and then I get to turn around and give it away. So let me see what else you guys are talking about. Let me see. Scrolling. Comics and Coffee, is that Bueller's secret? Wood says he can't enter. I don't know, man. I mean, again, this to me was one of the known problems that I encountered early on when I was doing the giveaway initially using the community tab. Some people are saying that they're able to do it. So I don't know. You guys will check it out, and then I'm certain that you guys will report back what your findings are. Free book, people. No right to complain about being pressed. Let me scroll down. Perfect book for the giveaway. Rogue's Husband. You guys are hilarious. No, this is definitely a good book. I'm gonna tell you, I had a good time shopping recently, right? So we did the 266. We had the Wonder Woman, which I really enjoyed. I have 3 more books down here for this month, and they kind of run the spectrum, right? I want to make sure that I'm not just giving away books that fit my fancy in terms of like Spider-Man, right? We have there on the table here and in this box below me a mixture of I think really cool books, different genres, different publishers. We were on a little bit of a Batman kick now, and I can tell you that there is no Batman down there now, but a couple of really cool books that will be made available to you guys in the coming weeks and months. So let me see what else you guys are talking about. Go ahead and show it. No. Child. I can tell you that if you are a Patreon member, you do get a chance to see what these books are. Patreon members that are part of the right tier of Patreon actually get a chance to see some of these books occasionally ahead of time. Actually, we'll show them. Oftentimes, Patreon members, again, get to help me to pick the book that I end up giving away. Again, what I try to do for Patreon members is I try to give them something in exchange for what they give me. And sometimes that's insider information. Sometimes it's decision making. Sometimes I bounce ideas off of them. They get previews of different things that I'm working on or thinking about doing. And Patreon has seen a couple of these books already, and maybe right after this live stream, in like a couple of minutes, I'll post up a couple of the other books for the Patreon members to be able to see on Discord. So there you go. All right, so let me go ahead and wrap this. There is no Turok. I've only found 5 Turoks in the entire 100K collection. So maybe one of them is a 10.0. I wonder if at a 10.0 anybody would actually want Turok number 1. Ponder that. All right. So again, give you guys a quick rundown again. couple of really cool videos, that are going to be coming out from the channel over the course of this week. We have a haul video, an unboxing video, and also a Blue Ocean spec video that all will be coming out at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, Monday through Thursday. Comics Today is happening on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. We also have a podcast and a blog post that are all going to be released from the channel. And if you, for some reason, did not get a chance to watch the head of the show, the beginning of the show, I definitely want to encourage you guys to go back and check it out, and certainly leave a thumbs up behind, and or a comment, because all of those things are good for the algorithm. If you guys need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Reggie Collects, or if you need to send me an email, you can send me an email to Reggie@ReggieCollects.com. And I just remembered that I did not give you guys the Discord link, so let me go ahead and do that right now. We'll do that. And then, like I said, I'm actually going to pop over to Discord for a hot minute here before leaving the comic book room. And I'm going to post some things up for Patreon members real quick. Let me go back to the chat here, and I'm going to post this up. And again, Discord is 100% free. You do not have to be a Patreon member in order to visit and to interact with folks. So it is free. It is an extension of the channel. It's an extension to some degree or another of this chat, where you just get to go over there and hang out with other comic soldiers. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to check out. All right. With that said, I want to thank you guys for hanging out. And if you need me, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram or via email. Take care. I was not ready. I am now, though.